The following content is sponsored and does not necessarily reflect the views of WATD Radio. Now, Paul Ponders on 95.9 WATD. Be a part of the show. Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's your host, Paul Solano.
Welcome, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. My name is Paul Solano of PS&All Marketing Group, and as you probably already know, I wear another hat as General Manager of Pearl Street Station Restaurant in Malden. A huge shout-out to Chef Felipe Fitzpatrick and his culinary team. Chef Felipe is a loyal listener through the Odyssey app. So hello to Chef Felipe. And as always, we have lots of stuff going on at Pearl Street Station this weekend. And I know you're in the middle of prepping with Chef Joaquin and Pizziola Muhammad for so many events, party pan pickups, and a huge backyard barbecue in Stoneham. So this is show number 29, and it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be on WATD in the slot of The Boiling Point with Arthur Boyle. I still cannot believe it is show number 29. And Arthur, you're doing a fabulous job as the executive consultant of Paul Ponders on WATD. I was about to call you, but I got a call from the restaurant. I was going to call you on the way down and say hi and check in with you, but I'll chat with you on my way back to the Malden Medford area. And with us is Tim behind the glass, and Tim is, hello there, Tim.
Hello, good afternoon, Paul.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Sunny day.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Finally, a Saturday with sunshine.
A sunny Saturday.
It's been a little while.
You got to love that. Ooh. You know, I think this is the first time since, I want to say, probably, mid-March that I haven't turned my wipers on.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And how nice Mother Nature. Hey, it said, first full day of summer, here you go. Have some sunshine and some heat.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a great day in the neighborhood, as they say, right?
A beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won't you be my neighbor? Thank you, Fred.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And Dave Cedrone has gone to the parking lot. I meant to chat with Dave about his cat. Do you know how the cat's doing?
Cat's doing well, still adjusting, but yeah, things are going well. I'm happy for him.
Very good, very good. Well, Tim, I know you're on the line. You're going to be calling.
Yep,
Shelley.
Trying to get our techie toolbox segment ready to go.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. Well, a huge shout out to my friends and colleagues from the Hub Network. This is a networking group of the colleagues of my friend and former fund development colleague, Paula Weaver. Paula and our colleagues are meeting at BU today for an in-person meeting and having dinner tonight in Boston. I will be joining them in Boston tonight, and our group usually meets on the first Monday night of the month via Zoom from 7 to 8 p.m. So looking forward to meeting members of the Hub Network tonight at 6:30. People have flown in from all parts of the country, and it's really a dynamic group. And if you want to find out more information on the Hub Network, please email me at paul@paulponders.com. So this takes us up to our segment. This is the Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment with techie Talonzo Amos and Shelley Wolf, global media firm owner of Toolbox Entertainment and a past Paul Ponders guest.
Hold on, Paul. She's not quite ready yet.
Oh, okay.
Stand by.
This is live radio. But Shelley is a past guest, Paul Ponders guest, episode 35. So if you have a chance, definitely check out that tool, that Toolbox Entertainment and that podcast over on paulponders.com. And also, if you want to check out the PS&All Marketing Group website, we have all sorts of techie tip postings for the wonderful tips that Shelley has given us over the past, I want to say 3.5-4 months that we've had this Pod Pro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment. So we're just getting Shelley on the line, and we'll find out where she's calling from today. Alrighty. So here we go. And do we have Shelley Wolf on the line?
Yes, we do.
Wonderful. Shelley, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing this morning, Paul?
I'm doing well, thank you. Welcome. And I know you're not in Philadelphia. We found out last week that you were moving. And is it safe to say that you're a Massachusetts resident once again?
It is. It is official.
Awesome. Well, welcome back to the hood.
Thank you. Yes, learning all this vernacular.
Right, exactly.
You guys pronounce all these words different than I know.
Okay. Oh, boy.
I gave her a quick crash course in the Massachusetts Town Dictionary. It's okay, you know.
Okay, reading.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Haverhill.
Yes. No, don't say that.
Haverhill. Is it?
Cambridge,
right, yes. The E's not there, but you still, yeah.
Oh, boy. Are we allowed to buy a vowel in any of that?
Maybe, yeah. Vanna, do we have an E? Yeah.
There we go. Yes.
we want all the E's.
What about the R's, right?
Exactly.
Now, how long were you in Philadelphia?
I was in Philadelphia for 10 years.
Wow.
So it was a lovely time. It's actually one of the longest places I've stayed since childhood. So it was good to have some grounding. But let me tell you, after moving after 10 years, oh my goodness, you don't realize all the stuff you have.
All the stuff that just accumulates, right? I always think of George Carlin and his great routine on stuff, right? Everyone needs a place for their stuff.
Everyone needs a place for their stuff, exactly.
Absolutely. Well, Shelley, I just want to find out what techie tips you have for us today, and you could fire away, my friend.
Thanks. Yeah, today I thought we would talk about safe screens, summertime tech boundaries for kids and those grandkids out there. You know, summer break is here. Today's the summer solstice, and so for many of us, that means there's more time with grandkids or helping watch kids while school's out. But with all that extra time comes screen time, from anything from YouTube to TikTok, texting, or gaming. How do you keep kids safe while they're not taking away all the fun? Today's tech tip is going to be about setting healthy boundaries, respectful, and making use of summer tech. So what we're going to talk about is, where do we start? Starting that conversation, ask, what apps do you use the most? Or what do you love watching or playing on your tech device? Most of these young kids, they're not even using computers anymore. Everything's in their hands. So it's always that little smartphone or their cell phones. Smart curiosity and not judgment. It builds trust and helps them open up. So again, you want to be very careful how you language stuff with kids so that they feel comfortable talking to you about the apps that they're using and that they're not hiding things from you. Check devices together. Don't go and check their devices separately. Sit down once a week and go over, screen time reports and app history. Don't sneak. Be honest with them and know that they're helping them to be safe and you're not spying on them. Again, building that trust is really important. But also remembering and having that conversation so that they feel very comfortable. Because kids are going to create fake accounts and they're going to tell you they don't, but they do. I worked with kids for 10 years, and they are very clear that that is something that they do. So just, create those open boundaries. When you set up parental controls on phones, for example, iPhones or iPad, use the screen time and settings to set app limits and downtime. And for Android devices, use Family Link, or you can manage apps and time limits. And again, use the Ask to Buy feature. Kids are going to be home this summer wanting to send mom and dad's and grandma and grandpa's money. So, set some Ask to Buys on your Amazon accounts and other accounts so they can't just download and spend on that credit card. And set some screen time and free zone time. No devices all at the dinner table or during outdoor play or 1 hour before bed. Use the kitchen timer or a smart assistant device to enforce breaks and times up from tech. But again, remember, tech is different for everybody. So, if a child's sitting there creating and stuff, it's very different than someone just scrolling or digesting content, right? So again, screen time is never equal for everyone. So just remembering that. But also build routines, for example, in 9 to 10 o'clock time is reading time. And from, say, 10 to 11 might be for educational screen time, and then go have some outdoor activity between the daytime before it gets way too hot. And then, before dinner, one episode as a family, or do, say, okay, you get one last time, one last hour for that time. Alternate between games and videos, but also try to encourage some podcasts or some audiobooks to avoid just, again, that passive binging. Like, that's really important. And that scrolling, we want to watch out for that finger safety and thumb safety as well. Spot red flags, encourage digital safety. Again, teach about stranger danger online. Remind kids not to share their full names, their schools, their locations. Just be really, really careful. I've heard, unfortunately, too many little stories that are not good. So, again, teaching that stranger danger is really important. Use nicknames or avatars versus real personal information or your face shot. Watch out for in-app purchases and ads. Again, many free games push ads or offer upgrades, but always turn off that in the in-app purchase settings, and encourage kids to ask, again, before buying or clicking on anything. Use kid-friendly apps, YouTube Kids, PBS Kids, Toca Boca for younger kids. And again, they offer safer, curated content. And for reading or storytelling, try Epic, Libby, or Storybot. Again, sit down and watch together. Find a TV show, a show that they're watching on their Netflix or their Hulu. And again, it's a great way, like I said, to build trust and catch anything that might be inappropriate, or to be able to have conversation. Kids are exposed to far more than we were ever exposed to at much younger age. So it's, again, really opening those boundaries and having conversations. Again, quick tips for balance: create screen-free time zones. Use tools like Screen Time and Family Link, because I think it's really important to also talk about how much time one is spending online. Talk regularly about what you're watching and playing. Encourage breaks and reading, outdoor time, and real face-to-face conversations. Keep devices in shared spaces, not behind closed doors. So again, this summer, make screen time something you manage together, not something that manages them. Kids don't need perfection. They just need guidance. Again, a few simple boundaries and honest conversations go a long way towards creating a safe and engaged and enjoyed summer to the fullest. So again, that's our tech tip. Wishing you a safe, smart summer screen time with your little ones. Again, stay curious and stay connected.
That is awesome. And Shelley, just as a quick aside, this goes back to when one of my oldest daughter was in chat rooms with her friends and all, and I was getting very alarmed because I kept on seeing pots. And then I finally confronted her. She says, "Dad, that means parent over the shoulder." And I said, "That's clever." And I love acronyms and all, so I added that to my repertoire of acronyms and mnemonics and all. But it was pretty funny. So it's just something that I learned. It was a great experience. I am HO.
Yes. In my humble opinion, yes. I agree with you. You must learn those acronyms, because that is what they live by. Like, they're not using full words anymore.
Right.
So, yes.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
What do they say? K? That's it. I suppose. Okay. So, Shelley, how do our listeners contact you, please?
Yes. Again, we can be reached at info@podproentertainment.com.
Okay, very good. And that's a great FYI. I thank you for being on. And until next week, Shelley, I want to thank you for, again, being a great contributor to the PodPro Entertainment Techie Toolbox segment.
Absolutely. Always happy to be here and giving some tech tips. So we appreciate our listeners reaching out.
Welcome to the neighborhood. #Indeed.
Thank you. #Imagine.
Indeed. Well, as Arthur Boyle says, it's not time to make the donuts, it's time to pay some bills. So let's hear from our sponsors. Attention WATD listeners, don't leave any money on the table. Call Performance Appraisal LLC and appraiser Arthur Boyle and Associates. Arthur may be reached at 781-293-6900 or Boyle6900 at AOL.com. Since 1994, Performance has developed many niche services ranging from appraising single-family homes to providing expert witness testimony. Again, call our own Arthur Boyle at 781-293-6900.
Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Manakesett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you. Have you tried Bryantville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Bryantville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857.
A reminder from Crystal Clear Pools in Kingston. Pools can be fun and a relief from summer's heat, but they can also be a safety concern. Crystal Clear Pools offers safety tips including don't swim alone, don't dive into unfamiliar waters, have automatic locks on all gates and points of access, know where all your safety equipment is located and know how to use it, know where the nearest telephone is in case of emergency, and always keep your pool clean and sanitized. For other safety tips and quality pool products, stop by and see us on Route 27 in Kingston, Crystal Clear Pools, 781-585-7665. Be safe this season.
Please join National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame board member comedian Dave Russo on Thursday, June 26th at 5:30 p.m. at Giggles Comedy Club at the Prince Restaurant in Saugus. Dave Russo is assembling a top-notch lineup to coincide with the NIASH Education Awards night. There will be lots of laughs, raffle prizes, and $3,000 in education awards given to deserving students. Contact Paul at Paul Ponders or Board President Dave Cayazzo at davekaypitching@gmail.com. It's Dave Russo on the road for this great cause. Five-time Hall of Fame inductee President Dave Cayazzo from the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame Massachusetts chapter invites you to its Hall of Fame induction ceremony at 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 5th at Anthony's of Malden. Congrats to Zavarian Brothers High School head football coach Al Finaro, past San Diego Padres farmhand Joe DiSarcina, and special Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit Award recipient Catholic Memorial AD football coach John DiBiazzo. Please contact Paul at paulponders.com or President Dave Cayazzo at davekaypitching@gmail.com for more ticket information. Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were three deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email Mike at northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD, presented by Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus, where they have fences for kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors. Now, at this point of the program, we have the financial wing of Olympic Proportion, sponsored by PS&L Marketing Group, and Olympian and former Boston Bruins winger Dave Jensen, Senior Loan Officer for Riverworks Credit Union. We're taking a different slant this week on really interesting members of my network and circle of dear friends. And this week, we have comedian Dave Russo of Russo on the Road. Dave Russo, are you on the line?
Captain Paul, of course I'm on the line. I'm a little disappointed, though. I got to be honest with you.
Really? In what way? What way, my friend?
Well, I can't believe I broke up with Karen Reed. Oh. I mean, yeah, I need a ride home from my show on Cape Cod tonight, Paul. 8 p.m. at Skippy's Pier 1 in South Yarmouth.
Wow, so tonight...
That was my plug. That was my plug for you.
That was a plug. So tell us more about this gig at Skippy's.
Oh, Skippy's Pier 1 South Yarmouth is our annual summer residency. Skippy's Pier 1, of course, has been around, Jesus, I want to say like over 40 years. Sandy's dad ran it there originally from Belmont, and it's in association with the Surf and Sand Hotel. So we go down there for the summer. We hang out on the beach all day like the Beach Boys, and then at night we party like Cape Cod of the 1970s, and then on Sunday we sleep it off.
Not bad. Do you have any Cape Codder drinks?
Not me, no. I'm California sober, as they say in America nowadays, Paul.
Really? And what is California sober?
California sober, allegedly, is if you don't drink alcohol, but you may possibly, if opportune, smoke marijuana. Now, marijuana is legal in Massachusetts, and that's relatively new. I, of course, never understood growing up in Malden why alcohol was legal and marijuana wasn't. I mean, the ladies know the best. When guys get drunk, they want to fight, they get rowdy, but you never hear of guys, getting so baked that they get bong balls, or I don't even remember the rest of the punchline. You know what I mean? You never hear that.
No.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so marijuana is legal, so obviously a lot of people, it's taking people a lot longer nowadays to drive to Cape Cod. It used to take a day and a half. Now with marijuana being legal, everyone's driving so slow, it's taking 2.5 days now.
Wow. That's why a lot of people, I guess, are in the weeds these days, right?
Well, I tell people, if my show is Saturday night on Cape Cod, if you leave Thursday afternoon around rush hour, you'll be right on time for the show at Skippy's Pier 1, South Yarmouth, 8 p.m. Saturday night. Russo, Danny Miller, Sadie Hill. How's that sound?
That sounds awesome. And then you're back on the road for next week, next Thursday, and you've heard the promo and the.
Wait a minute, I heard your promo.
Yes. And
I was going to do a hey, this is Paul Ponders. We have our National Italian Sports Hall of Fame comedy show with Dave Russo. I'm like, Paul, come on, man. I know your personality. You're always smiling. Hey, I'm Paul, and I'm pondering a comedy show. Thursday for NIAC. That's the National Italian Sports Hall of Fame. And Russo and Road, Dave Russo has been in Vegas for 20 years. Now he's in Route 1 in Saugus and Giggles. So the career, obviously, doing well. All right? And that's and we're starting early. We're giving scholarships away, which is awesome. And I love the fact we give back to the community. That's why I'm poking fun of us, because we work harder for than we ever did for any money we ever earned. I think we work harder for charity events, fundraisers, and good good vibes.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And of course, when we have our monthly meeting in the North End, I know you're often on the road and performing on a Wednesday night or playing softball with your colleagues. But we sit down and the late champ Tony DeMarco, who is just really the founder of our organization. We're all doing it for Tony, and it's for the kids. And he was all about education and community, and it's really great having you on the board and just making it happen. And this is your night to really just bring us all together at Giggles. And what is the $30 admission fee include? Well,
as we have for the past, how many years have we done this now? I want to say over a decade now.
Yeah,
right?
At least
over
10 or 11. This may even be.
And so we're always pizzas included, and always a scholarship money. And in the past, we've had people like Steve Sweeney and Lenny Clark and Paul Gilligan and Paul D'Angelo and Frank Santarelli from HBO's Sopranos, Adi. We've had the best of the best, and we're not going to change. We're going to have the best of the best. It's Dave Russo and friends, and when you show up for that $30 ticket that night, you're going to be amazed at who just pops in and says hello and just wanted to do a spot.
Absolutely.
So we got it lined up, and we know who's on the ticket, but they're ready to roll for Thursday night for NIAC.
That's
I think
awesome.
it's our 11th year, I think.
Pardon?
But let me share this with you. Let me share this with you now.
Sure.
The scholarship that we're doing, that we're raising money for, you mentioned Tony DeMarco. For those of you who are listening, when you go to the North End outside of Maria's, heading towards Faneuil Hall, his statue is there. As a matter of fact, when I'm in North End once or twice a week, I'll see tourists, and I'll say, hey, that guy right there, Tony DeMarco, when he was 16 years old, got a fake ID to be 18 to fight older guys and became the champion. He wasn't getting fake IDs to go into bars. He was getting fake IDs to beat the crap out of fellow boxers. And that really does sum up the fact how unbelievably talented he was as a boxer, that he had to fake an ID to box against the best of the best that were 2 years older. I mean, he was a mini Mike Tyson before Mike Tyson.
Without a doubt, and just a really great guy. And he also was an actor as well.
Well, you know what, Tony was in the spotlight at an early age, and obviously he had to jab and weave around. Let's face it, wise guys, people from the neighborhood. They might want to point you in this direction, point you in that direction, but he always did the right direction. You know what I mean? He did do some acting, he did some writing. But once again, it all came back to him giving back to the community and the scholarships with the National Italian Sports Hall of Fame. He took a lot of pride in this too. Even at his age, before he passed, he was still at all the meetings. He was still showing up, and that's a passion that you can't teach sometimes. It's just got to be there, and he had that passion.
Absolutely, and if you want just a shout-out for the book, I believe...
Nardo, right?
Yes,
Nardo, sure.
Nardo, right, exactly. Leonardo Liotta was really his name, his birth given name and all. Well, Mr. Russo on the road, Skippy's tonight?
Skippy's Pier 1 South Yarmouth. We have a close to a sold-out show. And let me tell you something. The Cape Cod audiences, I don't know what it is. They're so happy because Cape Cod is so beautiful this time of the year. It's just a really fun room. You got the back deck with the boats and the cutesy cocktails, and then of course inside the club is actually shaped like a boat. So yeah, it's definitely Cape Cod living down there for sure.
That's awesome. Well, I'd love to have you back on Paul Ponders in future weeks whenever you have a chance, because I know we want to talk about the Classic Scally Company, your hats. Everyone knows you with the hat and all, and they know you as just a seasoned great comedian who opened for Wayne Newton way back when, BITD, and you are on The Entertainer and all. So there's so much more to talk about in future Paul Ponders podcasts on WATD.
Sounds like a plan, and I will catch up. I'm looking forward to Thursday night, and any of those people that come down to see me on Cape Cod tonight, I'm going to do a special Paul Ponders video just for you. All right, bud?
Works for me, my friend.
All right, safe traveling. I love America. Talk to you later, Paul.
You got it, dude. Take care. Be well. Thank you.
You too, brother.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Well, let's hear from some more of our sponsors.
South Street Diner, located at 178 Nealon Street, Boston, is Boston's only all-night dining destination, open 7 nights a week for late-night eats. Yep, that's 24/7 in my book. Owner Saul Seidel has grown this former iconic Blue Diner to be the place to go for keeping the party going or filling your stomachs before you head home to the South Shore or the Cape and the Islands and listen to WATD along the way home. Ask Saul about his grandmother's banana bread recipe, the Boston cream pancakes, umpteen eggs Benny offerings, and tell him that Paul Ponders sent you. Attention WATD listeners, don't leave any money on the table. Call Performance Appraisal LLC and appraiser Arthur Boyle and Associates. Arthur may be reached at 781-293-6900 or Boyle6900 at AOL.com. Since 1994, Performance has developed many niche services ranging from appraising single-family homes to providing expert witness testimony. Again, call our own Arthur Boyle at 781-293-6900.
Have you tried Brianville Pizza Kitchen? From antipasto to baked ziti, specialty gourmet burgers, over 30 different kinds of pizza, and that's steak and cheese. Come on in and they'll show you why they made a reputation as being the best steak and cheese sub in the area. There's nobody that puts it together like your friends at the Brianville Pizza Kitchen. Chicken wings and fingers and the famous flavors complement their stir-fry dinners. If subs and wraps aren't enough for your table tonight, expand into Greek and Caesar salads, maybe even a calzone. Anyway, it's all good at the Brianville Pizza Kitchen. And don't forget, invite them to your next catered event. They'll bring the food. Brianville Pizza Kitchen. Call them at 781-293-9857. Have you heard about Pembroke Collision? Price and quality don't often collide under the same roof. Not so at Pembroke Collision at 192 Maniquisett Street in Pembroke. Pembroke Collision will work with you and your insurance company to get you back on the road in a safe and satisfactory vehicle. Put your trust in Ben Bastianelli and his crew at Pembroke Collision. Just call 781-293-4040 or find them on Facebook. Pembroke Collision, happy to work for you.
A reminder from Crystal Clear Pools in Kingston. Pools can be fun and a relief from summer's heat, but they can also be a safety concern. Crystal Clear Pools offers safety tips including don't swim alone, don't dive into unfamiliar waters, have automatic locks on all gates and points of access, know where all your safety equipment is located and know how to use it, know where the nearest telephone is in case of emergency, and always keep your pool clean and sanitized. For other safety tips and quality pool products, stop by and see us on Route 27 in Kingston, Crystal Clear Pools. 781-585-7665. Be safe this season.
Please join National Italian-American Sports Hall of Fame board member comedian Dave Russo on Thursday, June 26th at 5:30 p.m. at Giggles Comedy Club at the Prince Restaurant in Saugus. Dave Russo is assembling a top-notch lineup to coincide with the NIASH Education Awards Night. There will be lots of laughs, raffle prizes, and $3,000 in education awards given to deserving students. Contact Paul at Paul Ponders or Board President Dave Cayazzo at davekaypitching@gmail.com. It's Dave Russo on the road for this great cause. Five-time Hall of Fame inductee President Dave Cayazzo from the National Italian-American Sports Hall of Fame Massachusetts chapter invites you to its Hall of Fame induction ceremony at 1 p.m. on Sunday, October 5th at Anthony's of Malden. Congrats to Zavarian Brothers High School head football coach Al Finaro, past San Diego Padres farmhand Joe DiSarcina, and special Tony the Champ DeMarco Spirit Award recipient Catholic Memorial AD football coach John DiBiazzo. Please contact Paul at paulponders.com or President Dave Cayazzo at davekaypitching@gmail.com for more ticket information. Are you looking for fencing and outdoor products? Look no further than Northeastern Fence and Supply Corporation of Saugus. When owner Mike Payne's customers have been asked why they chose Northeastern Fence, many said that there were three deciding factors: customer respect, excellent customer service, and quality products. I say that you need to add in 70-plus years of a family-run business with truly experienced sales and installation teams. So if you are in the market for fences for your kids, dogs, and ugly neighbors, please call Mike Payne and his crew at 781-233-3324 or email Mike at northeasternfence.com.
Paul Ponders continues on 95.9 WATD. Once again, Paul Solano.
We are back, and thanks for listening to Paul Ponders on WATD. The call-in number is 781-837-4900. And I do invite you to go to paulponders.com and check out the section that has the WATD shows. And I do want you to go to the June 7th broadcast, and you will find what we're going to be talking about, the basis, the foundation for what we're going to be talking about with our calling guest. I know he's on the line, is Staff Sergeant Gene Sicko, U.S. Air Force retired. On the line?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thank you, Gene. How are you? Everything's going well today? Thanks for waiting while we get to you and all. And as I alluded to, the June 7th broadcasts and all, you were going to have a press conference in Malden on the Wednesday, and a lot of things have been happening with your book, EngineeringInfinityBook.com, since this past 2 Wednesdays ago. So what's been happening in the past 8 days?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a great response since the press conference, and we've had a lot of really legitimate people from the scientific community, certainly particularly people interested in UFO and UAP-associated phenomena, begin to dive into the book. The response has been consistent that they all see this as truly groundbreaking in terms of the levels of detail, the relationships to a government having a reverse engineering program. They think it's very important in that sense, as in the United States, there's a lot of key figures who are pursuing this type of disclosure, whistleblowers coming forward and such, and they really see this as being a catalyst, perhaps, to have some of the more difficult conversations that people in the government may not want to have.
Wow. So are more people starting to pick up your phone calls and delve into this even more?
Well, the nice thing is these people who have been into this for years and are established and have those relationships have really picked it up and have been championing it with those people. And so I've had some contact with some of the key figures so far. But again, as I put it, the caveat for everybody, I'm not an expert in this. This is something that dropped in our laps, and we recognize the importance of it, and we put it out there. And what's happening is kind of what we hoped would happen. The experts would pick it up and run with it. And it's really been amazing, and I've got some great invitations lined up. July 5th, I'm going to speak at a conference, actually, of engineers that are alternative propulsion engineering conference, because there's so much in there that relates to current science in alternative and advanced propulsion systems. I mean, it's just every day my mind is blown a new way at how much foresight is in this document that was written 40 years ago.
In Russia,
during the Soviet Union, the period of the Soviet Union. So it's quite remarkable to see all of the alignments, the progression of science in so many fields that are echoed in this document. And we find things that are very similar. We find things, again, that echo and mirror and really validate this as an early foundational document, which probably in its day was considered theoretical and all of that, and it's all coming true.
Wow. And part of the whirlwind past 8 days or so, I believe that you are on a popular podcast, Disclosure podcast.
Disclosure, yeah, it's called Disclosure Tonight. It's hosted by a gentleman named Thomas Fessler. He's a career IT guy. He is an experiencer. He witnessed some things in his early days that got him engaged in the subject, and he does a live show on Fridays, Saturdays, and Mondays where there's a live audience that they bring in to ask questions. And I participated in that. He featured me in that one interview. I happened to see it was on last night and just kind of jumped in, and then he brought me in throughout the conversation because they were not only talking about phenomenon, but talking about Iran, Israel, current events as well. And for people that have that thought in their mind, that this is an unrelated topic. It's really not. It's interwoven with so much when we talk about transparency in government, when we talk about weapon systems and defense systems. That's really the main thrust the community sort of believes of why there's so much secrecy around alien technology and non-intelligent and non-human life and all the rest of it, is specifically because of the defense applications of the technology. And we look at it from the perspective, well, if this was a document the Russians had in the early 1980s, then it's even more important that people have eyes on it, so we have an understanding of what's going forward. And when it comes to the disclosure issue, Paul, it's like that old saying, if you don't get the small things right, you can't expect to get the big things right.
True.
In the same way, if we're going to deny things people see, report, record, and have secrecy about it, then really how can we have confidence in other things that we are told better off we not know. Well, how do we know we're better off if we don't know?
Right, that's true. So as we start to wind down, how do our listeners purchase the book? And what's the name of the book again? I may have butchered the title off the top of my head.
No, not at all. So the long name of the book is Engineering Infinity, Earth's First Interstellar Blueprint. People can find it on our website at engineeringinfinitybook.com. On the website, they can actually read the entire book cover to cover. It's posted there in a flip book format for anyone to explore and investigate for themselves. There are options to download it as a PDF or purchase the hard copy through Amazon. And that's all by starting at engineeringinfinitybook.com. And when they go there, they can also sign up to contribute and be a part of a community effort as we dive deeper into not only what's in the book, but how it applies to so many things that are going on today.
Absolutely. And again, I do invite our listeners to go to the June 7th Paul Ponders radio show on WATD and thepaulponders.com. But just to let our listeners know, if you're hearing this for the first time, this was just not some random thing where you got these papers. These were presented to you to your son from your father-in-law.
Correct. It was basically I guess you could call it family inheritance that he passed on shortly before he died, and we never really got a chance. We never got a chance to sit down and talk to him before we had dove deep into him. So we were left with this mystery to unravel ourselves extraordinarily.
Well, your father-in-law, your late father-in-law, was a true genius, and we look forward to hearing more about your travels in the future. Is that okay, my friend?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate your advocacy for us, too, on this, Paul. It really means a lot.
You're welcome, my friend. So this is Staff Sergeant Gene Sticco, U.S. Air Force, retired. Gene, thank you for your service, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Be well now. Thank you. Well, I invite our listeners to stay tuned to WATD for the Memories with Ron Dwyer, the grand poobah of oldies rock and roll. Ron, you are a true leader of the pack with great musical memories of yesteryear. So thank you, Ron. Listeners can go to paulponders.com to find subscription links to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as finding past Paul Ponders and WATD shows. Thanks again to Tim, Arthur, and our advertisers, but really thank you, listeners in WATD world and beyond. Keep Paul pondering. #Indeed.